the flag, we all beating our chest. When it's peace, it's the same old game, the same old players, same old names. Right. My skin is my sin. My skin is my sin. My skin is my sin.
One quick question. Do y'all mind if I bring Dr. Boyce into the conversation?
Let's get it.
No, that was really dope.
And with no further ado, or if I'm saying that right, the man needs no introduction. Greatness personified. Dr. Boyce Watkins. What's good, fam?
What's happening, brothers? How you doing today?
Wow.
Great.
Wow.
Good.
Right.
Great talking to you
how about
guys.
yourself,
Thank you
man? I'm sorry, we got a little starstruck there for a second, bro.
Nah, man. No, I'm the one that's gonna be starstruck, man. I admire what you guys are doing, and I was really impressed and profoundly impacted by the major event you guys had in Baltimore a few days ago, man. It was off the chain. Great job, guys.
Great. It was absolutely wonderful, man, and we appreciate you, man. We had a lot of kids out there, man, and I mean, you know, of course, you know, with the money, you was grabbing attention and all that, man. But as I was telling everybody earlier, man, you are an example of a man of the people, man. Actually, both you brothers, you and Doggie, you guys are men of the people, man. And we need brothers like you for everything that we trying to accomplish as a whole, man. And I appreciate both you brothers, man. Definitely, I look up to both of y'all.
I've never met Dr. Boyce Watkins before, too, or even ever spoke to him, but I've always supported his content, so it's nice meeting you on the telephone right now. This is Doggie Diamonds, by the way, but I'm definitely a supporter of a lot of your work early on, and even, you know, to this present day. I'm happy to see you finally doing your own YouTube and live streaming on a daily basis and giving people information, because it takes a lot of bravery to do what you do, because the one thing that we get when we speak up for our people, we get called racist, and our own people don't even accept us. So most of the time we're speaking, all the time we're speaking for them, and they don't get it a lot of times. So, you know, I commend you for keep going and continuing, you know, on that journey, because I know what it's like to be in media trying to help black people, and they be like, well, he need to shut up, you know.
Well, well, you know what? I'll tell you, man. It's one of those things where you, in my opinion, you got to be your own best cheerleader. You know, because a lot of people ain't gonna really get it, and you just got to move forward with belief and confidence in what you're saying, and just, you know, try to back your stuff up with facts and energy, and people eventually respond, you know, favorably. Even if they don't like you or don't agree with you, they'll at least respect you for standing by your principles, you know. So keep it going, man. And, you know, we got a lot of coonery out here, and it's a big battle, but we're gonna win it.
A whole lot.
A whole lot.
All right. Well, let me start off the conversation with this one right here. Okay, Dr. Boyce. Let's say you have been put in charge of the finances of black folks in general. What would be the first thing that you would do to get us over this hump and to stop wasting our money and doing something productive with it?
Well, you know, the first thing I would say is understanding what money means to you, what money is supposed to be, and what money's supposed to do for you. You know, a lot of people don't realize that money is not just to buy things. You really want to think hard about two things, at least. Where's your money coming from, and where's your money going, right? Because your money kind of circulates through you almost the way water or a liquid goes through your body, you know. And so when you think about what makes us vulnerable as black people are those two things: where we get our money and where we spend, where we release our money, right? We get our money from white people. We get it from our oppressor. We get it from people who don't like us very much. Also, we don't have a sustained source of income from those people, meaning that we don't have a lot of bargaining power to negotiate how much we get, how we get it, how the whole transaction is going to go down. And so that basically weakens us. It gives strength to the person supplying the thing that you need. But then number two, on the other side, we're giving our money right back to those very same people through excessive consumption, a lack of investment, a lack of saving, overborrowing, overspending, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know, one of the most fundamental rules about money is finding ways to keep your money, but not just keeping your money, but controlling the supply of money on both ends of the stick. And I think just understanding economic systems at an early age for our children is a great step in that direction.
Yeah, because that's definitely something that I did not get really growing up. And all respect and love to my mama, but she was working 2 jobs, so it was difficult to really show me how to manage the money.
So, so Doctor, my fault.
Go ahead. My fault, Jerome. Go ahead.
No problem. Dr. Boyce, this is Brother Jerome, man. I wanted to get your thoughts on reparations in 2016 and going forward.
I'm gonna tell you, I think reparations is an easy conversation in the sense that there's no question about whether or not we're owed reparations. The United Nations made an announcement recently that reparations are owed to black people. And that really should kind of go in the no duh category. People used to say no duh. Everybody should know that. You can't steal somebody's stuff for 400 years and then act like you don't owe them something. So we know the elephant in the middle of the room is that white people stole from us and they owe us money. Now the question at that point is, they're asking you is, what are you going to do about it? What are you weak ass, pathetic black people who can't organize around an ice cream truck, or the only way you can organize is at a Lil Wayne concert? What in the world are y'all really going to be able to do to make us pay you? And at that point, that's what we have to respond in kind. We have to respond in a way that makes sense. At this point, reparations will not be paid to black people because black people don't really want reparations. Black people don't want it because you tend to fight for what you really want. We will fight, again, for a comedy show. We will fight to learn how to do the nene and the whatever these other stupid dances are, the D-Lo shuffle. We'll fight to go to a concert, but we won't fight on something that relates to social justice very often. Now, at the same time, there are beacons of light. The whole issue with police, confronting the police departments for their mistreatment of black people is a huge step in the right direction. But really getting people to kind of understand that connection between our oppression and our economic state is really kind of the job of some of the so-called thinkers and leaders of this generation. In my mind, I don't really think I'm really ever going to be able to really get all black people to kind of get in line with me and go fight on this issue in the right way, but I can help plant those seeds. So maybe the next generation, those ideas won't be so foreign to people, and we'll actually be able to act on it.
So, Dr. Boyce, can I ask you a question? Because you brought up a good point as far as black people asking for reparations. Do you think that subconsciously a lot of black people don't really want to be separated from other ethnicities and groups of people? That's why they're scared to ask for reparations, because once we get them, we're going to be on our own, to be perfectly honest. If we don't build once we get the reparations, then we're in trouble.
I'll tell you, I kind of believe we're already on our own. We're already in a unique spot in the sense that we get a type of treatment that they don't really give to any other group of people. Nobody in America has gone through what we've gone through. Dr. Claude Anderson explains this very, very well. And so I think that, this idea that we should be afraid to confront the bully because the bully is going to retaliate, well, is a little bit of a problem in the sense that, it would concern me to think that way because, and let me explain what I mean when I say the bully's going to retaliate. I think sometimes as black people, we're afraid to stand up and demand what's right because we're scared of what white people are going to do to us next. That they're going to take away affirmative action, that they're going to, you know what I mean? Like they're going to leave us on our own and abandon us. And the truth is that we're already being abused by white America in unimaginable ways. And there's a point where you have to say, I don't really care. I'm going to go punch the bully in his face. He might beat me up, but I don't care what happens at this point. It's a matter of making my position clear. So I think that we should not worry so much about what the retaliation is going to be, because there will be a backlash. It's not like if there will be a backlash, there will be.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we are a strong people when we put our minds to it. And I believe that whatever the backlash is, number one, it won't be any worse than what we've gone through thus far. And number two, we can withstand that backlash. Sometimes the backlashes make you stronger because you know who your enemy is. The problem for black people the last 8 years, in my opinion, is they never really realized how many enemies they had in the Obama administration, the White House. I'm not saying that Obama and Michelle were bad people, But they don't realize how disrespected our community was by these Washington insiders. And so, it put us to sleep. We really thought we had Superman in the White House and everything's going to get better. And so, to me, President Trump, while I don't want him to be elected, but the one good thing about having a President Trump is that there will be no illusions whatsoever about whether or not we have a friend in the White House. And what happens is sometimes when you're under that heat, under that pressure, it forces you to be a little more focused. You know what I mean? To work a little bit harder, to organize a little bit better. And so, again, I don't want Trump to be elected by any stretch. But if he were elected, I honestly believe black people would do better in that administration than we did during the Obama administration because Trump would be the ultimate alarm clock. We would all be woke at that point.
Totally agree. I agree 100%.
What you think about that, Doggie?
100% agree. It's the problem that I have with many black people is that, Harriet Tubman once said she would have freed more slaves if they knew they were slaves. Some black people don't think that is anything wrong. They think police brutality is the only problem that we're faced with. It's way more than that because you look at the thing that goes on in our community, the no snitching rules and all of these, these man-made undercover rules that sometimes you're contributing to the demise of your own neighborhood. And then we say, well, we could police ourselves. We don't need police. Well, are you gonna tell your cousin it's not okay to sell crack? Are you gonna really, are you really gonna go in on your family, or is some people exempt? So everything is televised right now, but that's why they put on things for us not to look at what's really ahead of us. That's why these distraction shows are so high in demand, the empires and the powers and all
the
that.
Love and Hip Hops and
But believe it or not, see, Love and Hip Hops, those are cool, but those you could see that a mile away that's coonery and tomfoolery. You could see that a mile away. I believe like the powers and all of those shows are more dangerous because, and I don't want to, and we look at it like, well, yeah, there's African Americans on there, and 50 Cent and all that. But what is the lesson in that? There is no lesson. It's all entertainment. It's all entertainment, and I think black people, when you really look up what entertainment and the foundation of entertainment was created at our expense at first.
That's
we was the entertainment, and now we always want to be entertained. If we can't be entertained, we don't care about it. I say this all the time. If we can't drink it, if we can't smoke it, if we can't fuck it, we can't eat it, we don't care. Mm-hmm. And that's starting to become to our detriment because there's more going on in this world than us always being entertained or being able to get high from it or laugh at it. Because think about, like I was saying earlier, before Dr. Boyce Watkins come on the phone, we laugh at things that are not funny. When somebody get punched in the face, people don't call the police. People say World Star, certain things became synonymous with trauma. So if somebody yells World Star around you, you almost have to duck because you don't know what's about to happen.
Whoa, am I about to get punched?
Yeah, exactly. And that became the norm, and that became cool, and that is regular to people. So traumatic experiences and things that are harmful became funny, even though it's not funny. But people find it funny. Go ahead.
Let me and Dr. Boyce, I was looking at, I can't remember which. I think it was the debate you had with Michael Dyson, and you made a statement. Lil Wayne is the most powerful mega pastor in America. That was extremely profound to me.
That was fire.
Right. And I had to stop right there, man, because it's just been a bad day, bro. And I had to stop right there, write that down. And I just wanted to hear you expand on that just a little bit further.
Yeah, sure thing, man. With that remark, my argument was that, when you talk about preaching the gospel, really it's a matter of sharing a set of beliefs, and an ideology that other people may or may not adapt to, right? So, you can preach the gospel of Jesus if that's what you believe, or Buddha, or whatever it is, or the gospel of wealth, or the gospel, whatever it is whatever message you have, or the gospel of the Democratic Party, it's all about having a message and getting people connected to a specific way of thinking. So, with Lil Wayne, if you look at the way hip hop is structured, there is a message in every hip hop song that goes out there, because this message is what sells the music. It's what gives it authenticity to a lot of young people. It's I ain't nothing but a street nigga. I'll kill another black man in a minute. I'm a bad dude. I'm a bad dude because I got money. I got women. I got I went to the club. I threw up 10,000 last night. I went to prison because I'm so hard. You're sending these messages, and what you're doing is you're creating a culture. Music is very, very psychological. Music sinks into your brain very, very deeply. Very like it marinates your brain. Your brain marinates in the melodies that you're hearing. So no child can hear that same message over and over and over again without literally being hypnotized and brainwashed to a specific point of view. So Lil Wayne, to me, his mega pastor status is that of ignorance, self-destruction, drug addiction, excessive alcoholism, extreme irresponsible sexual promiscuity, harmful behavior toward other black people, incarceration, the embracing of ignorance, the extreme disrespect of black women. One of the most toxic cultures that you can ever drop on the people. And what's so interesting is that we become so poisoned by it that we eat it up. We literally live off the poison. And that almost like a rat that's been in the sewer so long that he can't eat healthy food. He needs sewer food in order to live. And that's kind of what's happened to a certain segment of our community.
Definitely.
I agree. I totally think that our entertainers have more of a hold as far as the black community, because we were just talking about this before, and I just wanted your take on it. Our entertainers can basically dictate what we buy, what we spend, what we eat, where we go at, and what we think is fun. If you hear your favorite rapper say, "Well, I dropped out in the 8th grade, but I'm a millionaire," you just keep hearing them say this over and over and over again. That child is going to listen and say, "After school, why do I need school? My favorite rapper is a millionaire, or my favorite rapper can jump from the 3-point line and dunk it backwards. So let me try to be that." And then now you have a society of people that try and fail to become entertainers or athletes, and then you basically have where majority of black people are living right now.
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know
if it's that deep. I don't know if it's that deep. I think that was the old way. Via social media, right now, some of the children don't look up to rappers. They think they are the rapper.
I agree.
Because you can buy 200,000 Instagram followers. So when people look at your Instagram and it says 200,015, and you look at maybe, let's pick a name out the hat, Chance the Rapper, and he might have 100,000, the illusion is what's being bought into. It's not the facts, it's the illusion. That's why the kids walk around with fake jewelry on and risk their life for fake jewelry. The illusion is bigger than everything to them.
Yeah, I would never say it's a fact, because I have so much respect, especially for our youth right now, because a lot of us are waking up. So I wouldn't say that it's a fact. But I do agree with you when you say it was the old way.
And be a social network.
If you look at it now,
look right now, right?
We got on the phone right now.
But look
that are
right
doing
now.
just the opposite.
Via social network, right?
They are giving kids a vision of being something other than a rapper or a basketball player. How many kids have Dr. Boyce Watkins affected? How many kids have Doggie Diamond affected?
When I was younger, right, I had to actually get a magazine to see Big Daddy Kane, or I was too young, so I never was going to see him in concert, or see LL Cool J. Now you can tweet him and he might answer you.
Facts.
So you feel like
Agreed.
you are, you feel like you're on level with him now. It is nothing exclusive anymore. At one point, that's why people had such star status, because you didn't see them on a regular. Now you see his everyday move. You know his regimen. You know how he eats. You know who he sleeps with. You know who his wife is. There is no more. It's no more. I don't want to say secrecy, but it's nothing sacred anymore. Everything is given up. So now the youth feel like, well, I can emulate them because I see what I have to emulate. Because it's bigger than rap now. Because the raps don't sell anymore. It's not the music anymore.
Correct.
It's the Instagram. It's the illusion that's being sold. So they feel like, well, he smokes weed all day and he sip lean. Well, I'm gonna pour up just like him.
Mm-hmm. I think that we're breaking out of that mode. So I do agree with you on that. but because we have very positive black people, and I agree with you.
I got a question.
It's about imagery.
Exactly.
It's about
I have a question for you too, Dr. Boyce.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that we get the website out too. It's BoyceWatkins.com. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. I want to know your biggest financial mistake.
Oh, my biggest. Wow, that was a big twister. I was ready to talk about the other thing.
Man, but I wrote all these questions down, man, and I'll be damned if I don't get a couple of them out.
Yeah.
No, it's all good, bro. It's all good, man. I'll add to that point about worshiping entertainers. Unfortunately for black people, because we were so lost in terms of knowing who we are, we look at entertainers as black culture. You know, and the problem with entertainment as black culture is entertainment was created by white people mostly. I mean, you know, most of these black people that you see on TV, radio, wherever, they wouldn't be on TV if white people had not selected them. You know, shows like Good Times or your favorite rapper, your favorite whatever, you know, your favorite athletes even. You know, these people, if they were blackballed by all of white America, they wouldn't have their platform. You wouldn't know who they are. So you got to be real careful about getting your culture handed to you from your oppressor. That's the point I want to make with that. Because if you go to that new Black History Museum they just built at the Smithsonian, it's all. I mean, I could have sworn it was a good 70% entertainment. 70%. I'm talking about everything from brothers dribbling basketballs and Nike commercials to, you know, they had a big image of Flavor Flav's biggest clock. They had, you know, like images from TV shows that you've seen through the years. Yeah, it was some old bullshit. I mean, it wasn't really, to me, I mean, I'm going to tell you this. I didn't see Marcus Garvey one time. Not once. I think I saw Malcolm quickly. I saw Malcolm X very quickly. I even didn't even see Dr. King. So I was like, what's going on here? What is this? What am I looking at here? It was really almost surreal. The building's beautiful, by the way. It's real flashy. But it really left me kind of feeling like, whoa, is this all I am? So that's our area. That must be our zone, entertainment, making white people sing and dance and laugh. The problem with that is you can't stand up against the oppression from the white man and still sort of fulfill his need for you to be his entertainment. You can't do both, you know. But believe me, if you're willing to entertain white folks and assimilate properly, you will be rewarded for that. That's why a Kevin Hart, for example, somebody like that would never be a threat to white supremacy because that's what they're thinking. They're like, okay, boy, we need you to make us laugh. You people are so funny. You people are so entertaining. But when you get out of that element, you become almost like the circus animal who decides to attack. You know, like they loved it when the lion was jumping through the hoops of fire and standing on one leg, but they don't like it when the lion says, wait a minute, I want to be free just like you.
When the lion turns into a lion.
Right.
And when the lion, when the lion's behaving like a trained domesticated house cat, he's adorable. He's fascinating to watch. But when he wants to be a real lion, then it's like, oh shit, we need to shoot his ass. You know, so going back to your point, to answer your question earlier about the biggest financial mistake, I could say there are a lot of them, but one I would think about for young people, especially millennials, is student loan debt. A lot of millennials are starting their lives so deep in debt that they'll never get out. The average millennial will actually never get out of debt. The average millennial, according to a recent study, is going to die in debt. And that's not cool. That's not smart. You know, that doesn't make any sense. That's not the way life's supposed to go. So I think that if you are a person, you know, like us in the category of people that want to be educated, you got to be real cautious about that student loan debt because it can kill you. Another big mistake I've seen is people messing up their credit very early. It's very difficult to replace credit. If you mess up something on your credit score, it stays on there for 7 years. A bankruptcy stays on there for 10. Not having a good credit score can keep you from certain jobs. It can also keep you from being able to go get financing when you need it on a rainy day. The biggest mistake that I would think a lot of black people make to this day and will continue to make is not teaching our children how to start a business, not teaching them the very basics of entrepreneurship. You know, it takes about 150 something thousand hours to go from the age of 0 to the age of 18. And it's very interesting to me that we use all that time to learn a bunch of things that have nothing to do with our ability to survive in a capitalist and racist society. So to me, if you really want to prepare your children to survive in this world, you teach that boy how to start a business, because he might end up at the age of 27 out here trying to hustle, trying to get a job, and white people may not ever want to hire him. They may just reject him because he's too tall, or he's too dark, or he doesn't hold his head down enough, or it's not the right job, or he's not getting paid enough. The question is, does he have any options? And not having options is the easiest way to end up depressed. Studies show that the fewer options you have to fix your condition, the more depressed you're likely to become. So if you want your children to avoid depression, teach them to put themselves in a position where they have options. The best option you can ever have is knowing how to start a business, because that way, if you decide you want to quit your job, you know you got a place to go. You know you can go hustle up $1,000 to pay your rent or whatever it is.
That makes absolute sense right there. And shout out to my mom for doing that, just that thing for me too.
Yeah, man. I mean, if I could really control every black child in America for like a year, I would literally have every child drilled on how to start a business. They would literally not just know the basics. I would have them thinking about this, obsessing over this as much as we obsess over music and entertainment and everything else. And that would be a game changer. That would literally change the condition of black people overnight. If we really embraced entrepreneurship as part of our culture, just who we are, you would see black billionaires just popping up out of nowhere. You know, because just by basic statistics, a certain percentage of these young people are going to become millionaires and billionaires. You know, but for some reason we are so addicted to this old school mindset of working for white people that we don't understand. We're feeding our children into what I call an economic death trap, and you just don't want to do that.
I definitely understand that, and looking back, you know, and I wish there were a couple of things I had to learn a little bit earlier, you know, but my mother was a staunch believer in what you were just saying, in having something to fall back on. So she made me go to nursing school at like 18 years old.
Wow.
And
that was the ideology for real. We was growing up for real. You get the big house with the wife, picket fence, work for somebody, retire around 60. So that's how I was raised. But now we have to look at it as though like every other race of people, every other ethnicity of people built for themselves. You know, and that's something that we were just talking about earlier today. And now once black people start picking up that ideology, we would be in a very good position, in my opinion.
This is Doggie Diamonds. I got a question for Dr. Boyce Watkins. Being that you speak the way you speak about the system of white supremacy, and you speak up for black people, how do you still get white people and white advertisers to advertise with you and spend money with you without calling you a racist and shunning you?
White people don't spend money with me.
Great question.
White people don't give me money. I spoke to a group of white people. Yeah, I spoke to a group of white people. I'm serious. I spoke to a group of white people like 6 weeks ago, man, and like 5 or 6 white guys walked out of the room. Yeah, like in the first 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I started talking about reparations. Yeah, and I mean, I was being
educated.
Right, and because the thing about it was I wasn't mean. I mean, I'm not really a mean guy. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I got to be a mean guy to be a man. So I smiled. I was very polite, but I very politely explained to them, you know, about reparations and the history of economic inequality and why basically black communities don't have anything, because for 400 years people stole our stuff. They took you know, things from your grandparents and great grandparents. And that's why reparations, that conversation, is a simple conversation. And so when I started just talking about that, a lot of times for some folks, even if you tell the truth, even if you're polite about it, they're going to get offended. You know, and so one of the things I learned very early is that in this game, it's a dirty game. Economics is a dirty game. Power is a dirty game. And what that means is that nobody's going to feel sorry for you if you're a man and you're enduring abuse in this world. When blacks are being kicked and spit on and stomped on, Don't nobody care about you. Ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. That's like being in a football game and thinking that if you start crying, the other team's gonna not tackle you so hard. No, they're gonna tackle you harder because you're playing like a bitch. So basically, black men have to realize that we can't play the game like a bitch. What does that mean? That means that I have to understand as a black man that if I'm gonna be out here saying these things, talking the way I talk, doing what I do, I can't do all of that and then turn around to white people and say, "Will y'all pay my rent for me? Will you give me a paycheck? Will y'all hook me up? How come y'all won't give me no corporate sponsorship, man? That ain't right." Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is that if I was a white man, I wouldn't give me money either. And that's and so at the end of the day, it doesn't mean I wouldn't do business with white folks. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate white people. You know, in fact, I have people get mad. They call me a coon because I say stuff like, "Well, I know some good cops." You know, I really do because my dad was a cop. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I know cops that are not out here trying to kill people. You know, so so really at the end of the day, this really to me reflects the disproportionate nature of the game that you're playing. You're playing a game where they are so accustomed to dominating your every move that you can't even politely tell the truth about race in America without there being a huge backlash. And so basically when I knew I was going to do what I was going to do, I said, okay, well, if you're going to be grown boys, if you're going to be out here saying these things, you need to make sure that you got a good business, that your business model's tight, that you understand entrepreneurship, you understand economic survivalism, because when your bills can't get paid and you out here on the street struggling, white folks ain't gonna come by and save you. You know, so at the end of the day, how do I get money from white people? I just don't. I mean, we did the All Black National Convention down in Atlanta. I paid for every single penny of that convention out with money out of my own pocket, from money that we made from the Black Business School, from the Black Wealth Boot Camp. Yes, every single penny came from us. Not one single motherfucking sponsor put one nickel on the table to pay for any of that. We did it ourselves, and it was very important to do that because you cannot have black freedom brought to you by McDonald's or black leadership brought to you, sponsored by Walmart. That right there is an inherent contradiction. You're not independent if you need Walmart to be your sugar daddy. That doesn't work. So there you go. So I'm not even, I mean, yeah, do white people, have I been ostracized? Absolutely. But there's no pity party over here. There's no room for pity parties in the middle of a war. You just got to keep fighting.
Man, talk that shit, Dr. Boyce.
Yeah, he talking. He talking.
Talk that shit, yo.
He talking. He talking.
Yeah, see, y'all done got me fired up now.
I think that's essential. See, I think that's essential because all of us being, you know, black entrepreneurs in our own right, we're looking for how we going to get our next dollar. And we think corporate America is going to give it, but they're not going to help you finance your war against them. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're not cooning. Especially if you're not cooning, and that's why conscious hip hop died, because so many of them, you know, it was almost like, you know, you had the black exploitation. That's what the same thing happened in hip hop. You had conscious hip hop, and then you had black exploitation in hip hop, where the pimps and the hoes came into hip hop, and the gangsters came into hip hop, and it was like, enough of this black power shit. You know, you're trying to, you know, you trying to stop people. You trying to
your phone going out a little bit there, doggy.
And have, oh yeah, we need something that's gonna dumb everybody down and have them submissive, and that's where conscious hip hop dies. So it's the same thing like with us. You know, we have these platforms. We have the blog talks. We have podcasts. We have YouTube, and they have different things, and they're looking at it because I know they're looking at the views and saying, damn, I would love to get some of that viewership, but I'm not giving him $1. You know, I find it funny that I have the number 3 podcast, and I never even got offered to be in the net. The people who own the network, I rank higher than them.
Wow.
I'm ranked higher than them. I'm number 3 in the net in the ranking, you know, from the top 10. I'm number 3, and the people who own the network is like number 10 and number 7 and all that, and I haven't even been doing it long. But I have, you know, and my numbers are, not, you know, my numbers are my numbers, but they never reached out. But then I started saying to myself, you know what? They know I'm not going to coon. They know I'm not going to, you know, say and do certain things. I'm always going to speak out. I'm always going to speak up for black people, and I'm always going to speak out against injustice that white people committed to us. So, you know what? I don't need them. I don't need to be a part of them, because one thing about corporate America, they only going to pay for what they can control also. They're not going to pay
Correct.
for something that they can't control.
Correct.
So if you're not listening, and you're not doing what they want you to do, they're going to get rid of you anyway. You know, most of the time, I have full ownership of my brand. So I tell people, you know, you could love these other podcasters and you could love these other podcasts. They do not control their content. I own my content because it's mine. I never signed it over to anybody else. So a lot of people are looking at these numbers and they're saying, oh, they're doing this and they're doing that. And I keep saying, well, I'm 100% independent. Everything that you've seen so far from Doggie Diamonds and Doggie Diamonds TV has come out of my pocket. I've never got a dime from anyone. I've never got any money. Feeling. And like I said, how am I beating corporations that have hundreds of $1,000s in marketing dollars? And I don't have any
you got
marketing
people
dollars.
behind you.
But that's what I try to put. But this is what I'm trying to instill in all of our people. That if we stand behind one another in our endeavors, then we don't need the middleman, which is corporate America, because we put them at the top, but they're not at the top. They need us.
Fact.
All we need is each other. All we need is the consumer.
That's
the
right.
Product and the consumers. Okay.
That's a very good point that you made. You know, basically, economic prosperity comes from economic activity. Economic activity comes from a collection of like-minded individuals who engage in trade with each other. So when you have a group of black people in a room, if you have 200 or 100 black people together that are all agreeing to work together and trade with each other, then prosperity naturally comes out of that. You know, and so by us being able to unify, we're actually creating black wealth. We're building wealth just by agreeing to work together and finding ways to make that happen. So everything he said makes perfect sense. You can create an economy. If you have some smart people in the room, you could create a whole self-sustaining economy with maybe like 30 people or less, you know, literally, where you don't even have to leave the building to really get the majority of everything that you need. And so ultimately for black people, we have everything that we need right here. We have over $1 trillion in spending power. It's just a matter of getting everybody on that same page, or not everybody, but at least a chunk of us on a similar page where we're buying black, investing black, hiring black, supporting black, giving black, all these other things, and building black as well. And I guarantee you, it's going to be a game changer in terms of creating opportunities for ourselves. Just like with this brother with his podcast, you know, you got black folks out there that believe in supporting black. They believe in him. They're going to show up. They're going to listen to the podcast. Then you can make ad revenue from that, you know, things like that. Same thing's true in our case. You know, if it wasn't for my black business partners and my black audience, then I wouldn't be able to survive. It's black people that keep everything that we're doing afloat and keep it moving, you know. And so I'm not really worried about what white people think, because I really don't have to even talk to them, to be honest with you.
You know what? When I first I was talking to somebody about doing the show last year, and I got some clothing. And before I let y'all go, if y'all send me a address and a size, I'll send y'all my Skin Is My Sin hoodie. Just wanted to get that out the way, because we definitely appreciate y'all coming on the show, man.
I live in Baltimore at 5'4". No, I'm joking. Cool. No, man, I'm gonna get a shirt, man. The shirt fire. I'm giving the shirt.
You know, but man, my biggest problem was other black folks. When I would say, you know, I'm making a clothing line that's specifically geared towards us, you're not gonna make no money. You're gonna fold in this, you know, that makes no sense, and why are you doing that, you know? And that was the most disheartening, because I didn't anticipate that. I anticipate white folks pushing back.
But listen, you have to understand, people push their fears on you. They don't know how they can do it, so they can't see how you can do it. See, that's the issue.
Right.
When people can't see how they can do it, then they say, well, how can you do it? I can't do it. And then, believe it or not, look how many things that you've achieved, and then now you see people trying to monkey see, monkey do. Now all of a sudden somebody's saying, well, yeah, I'm going to start my T-shirt line, because if he can do it, I can do it. See, I take imitation as the biggest form of flattery. I don't, because I know I inspired a lot of people that always told me what I can't do. I dropped out of high school in 9th grade. I don't have a GED. I don't have anything. I already knew what I wanted to do with my life. So I said, school, I'm not going in debt going to school to owe them money, and it's not even going to help me with what I'm trying to do. As long as I know how to add, subtract, reading comprehension, multiply, and divide, I don't need to know about was going on in Mesopotamia and all that stuff. That's not what I'm trying to do. If I want to do that, I can learn that in my independent study. But what I'm trying to do, I don't need to know any of those things. I don't need to know algebra and all that because I wasn't trying to be no architect or anything like that. So stop forcing things on me that I don't need because, your brain can hold a lot of information, but then some information gets lost when you don't use it. So why are you stuffing my brain with all this information that I don't need for what I'm trying to do? So a lot of times people used to always say to me, well, how are you going to do this? And how are you going to do that? And I say, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to be at it every day. But then people who have a job, people who work for other people, and people who can't see past the four corners of their neighborhood, they don't understand anything because they never take a risk. All of this is a risk. Entrepreneurship is a risk. Sometimes there is no reward, but you don't give up. You find a way. You keep going back. You keep going back. Every inventor didn't invent something on the first try. You have to modify it and you have to keep going. And with entrepreneurship, one thing about black people, we don't think it's cool unless white people say it's cool, even if it's ours. Mm-hmm. They take a black woman wants to wear a weave. She won't wear cornrows in her hair, even though that's our original hairstyle. But then when Kim Kardashian has cornrows, then you see black women with cornrows. Now it's not cornrows anymore. It's called something different. It's called a Kim K braid, but they're still putting weave in it to look like Kim Kardashian when you have your natural hair that you can cornrow and it's going to make your hair grow. So that's our problem. It's just how we depict ourselves and how we let other people depict us and show us, try to dictate who we are to ourselves. And their depiction of us is how we see ourselves opposed to saying, hold up, who are you to tell me what I am and what I look like? Look at yourself. You don't know what I am and what I look like, but that's all they've been doing to us. They told our black women, your booty is too big, your lips is too big, your skin
they get the same damn
too
thing.
dark. And they go do the same thing, but then you have black women who naturally have bodies, and then they're going to put all types of poison in their body to look like what you naturally look like if you just ate healthy and took care of yourself. You can't cheat. Look, you can't cheat the grind. You might be able to, cut corners every now and again, but you can't cheat the grind. And that's all it's been. All. Everybody's trying to have this microwave reality, but I ain't going to take the floor and just keep talking too much. I'm going to let somebody else go.
I do want to say this, though, now that we got Dr. Boyce over here. He said something that was very prolific to me. He said that white people look at black people as their pet. They don't love you as a family member, but they love you as their pet. You can entertain them, do these things, do that. But they throw the
keep pissing on the floor too much and they're going to put your ass out.
Exactly. And we get better doing some black people, and I don't mean to call out the coons. I've been on a coon diet, so I haven't been doing it. But some of us get they know the coon diet, for real, but they know the cool man. Some of us get patted on our head, and we ready to just cut off every black person we can find for real. Oh, white daddy love you. White daddy love me. White mommy love me. But at the end of the day, they would treat you like you are Nigger.
That is so
the problem.
Hey, go ahead. I was going to switch lanes completely, so I'm going to let you finish your thought there, AJ.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Oh man, I was going back to that debate again, Dr. Boyce. You were saying that T.I. was your favorite rapper of all time.
Yes.
I have never ever heard that in life before, and T.I. is dope. A phenomenal artist. Oh damn! Dr. Boyce call dropped, and unfortunately, since it's after 9 o'clock, he can't call back in.
T.I. just put out a conscious, socially aware 8-song album, man, and he definitely moved up in my rank because of it. Because he's one of the few. He's actually the only mainstream artist that I'm aware of right now. T.I. album is dope, and Slim Thug's American King album is dope.
Hold on one second. Hold on 1 second, fam. Dr. Boyce, I do apologize, but your call dropped, and unfortunately, technically the show ended at 9 o'clock, so you can't call back in. But if you could reach out to Rome and just give him an address and size, I'll definitely send you a hoodie. We truly appreciate you just giving us some of your time, man. I know how valuable it is, and we just wanted to say thank you. And check out My Skin Is My Sin if you wanted to look me up personally. My name is Joseph Boyd. All right, my bad. Go ahead, fellas.
Yeah, Slim Thug, American King is a grown man conscious hip hop album. Download it, stream it, whatever. Go get it.
Let's keep it a
Go
stack.
get it.
Pac is the GOAT, man. Let's
That's
stop BS.
Yeah, we already know Pac to go. Yeah. That's a whole
That's
other
a fact.
But
I'm talking about current music.
But I will say this, as far as T.I. though, every time I listen to this, what really made T.I. one of my favorite rappers is he always looked at the consequences of his actions. Like, if you go to his first album, Still Ain't Forgave Myself, or you listen to trap music, I Still Love You, when he was talking about how he disrespected his father until he became a father, it's like he had some type of guilt with him in his raps. He could have been very braggadocious. That's why I always liked him. So when I hear his new songs now, I'm not surprised. A lot of people are, but me personally, I'm not.
Well, what I do want to say about T.I. and some of these rappers or entertainers, be careful. Don't jump on the bandwagon too fast. Let them really stand on their square for a long period of time and do more action than rap, because rap is still to sell. You know, it's still entertainment. So be fooled by some people jumping on the bandwagon.
Now, Doggy, I can't say this. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know where you're going with it. And as far as T.I. taping for Iggy Azalea, I wasn't feeling that at all. But I was going through a track record and him building houses for single black mothers. It's like I'm in limbo, so I ain't going to just jump out the window with it. But at the same time, I can see where you're coming from as well.
Well, a lot of artists is in a situation of damn that they do, damn that they don't. That's why I just listen to the music and I try not to judge them. Because him building houses for single women, you know, that don't mean that that's his money. He could have got a grant. He could, he could have a non-for-profit. So sometimes a lot of people do things because anything that you do that is really done in
it's going to be beneficial for you.
But I mean, charity is not broadcasted though. Charity is done in secret. Like I'm not gonna go on social network and say I gave this homeless man $10 today, because if I did it from my heart, why do y'all need to know that? That's to make me look good. True. That's to say, look, y'all, I give back. But you know, for every homeless woman home that he built, imagine how many homes that he broke up with the type of content that he was putting out. When you talk about trap,
I disagree with that a little bit though.
No, but I mean, let me finish. You know, my thing is this: a lot of these rappers and artists did a lot of harm to us as a people in our community, and
that's true.
They try to make amends, but sometimes I don't think the amends is like really full fledged. I think it's his opportunist moments where, you know, hey, what else is he gonna rhyme about? He's probably 40 years old. You know, everybody else is rapping. So now he wants to be socially aware, socially conscious. That doesn't come through rap. Rap is one thing, but it's more than just rap. You know, we don't need rap
to be conscious.
It's a lifestyle.
But we don't need raps though. We don't need raps. Raps is not gonna help anybody. That's, you know, if that's the case, we just go to Sinetta TV and listen to Blue Pill and Red Pill and, you know, some of the other brothers on there. They've been saying that. So my thing is, why are we so happy when certain people say things that some people been saying? You know what I'm saying? We need to say, look, all right, now listen, you have brothers who've been saying the same thing. T.I., you got the money. Why don't you take some of that money and put it behind the brothers to get the message out to the masses? It shouldn't come from you. It shouldn't come from you because it's not even really authentic. I'm telling you, by the time T.I. put out his next project, it's going to be back to the trap. That's all I'm talking about.
If you talk about niggas in the head for real, it's gonna disappoint me for real.
What I will say,
well,
though,
expect to be disappointed.
We do need to celebrate. I think personally, like if you're doing some charitable work, I think you should let people know you're doing charitable work. Because brothers don't have a problem posting, you know, I just bought a $400,000 car, or, you know, I live in so and so zip code.
But that's his business. But see, this is what I'm saying about entertainment. That's his business. It's our fault that we care. Why do we care what he bought? Why? Listen. Again, why are we even following some of these people on Instagram? Why? Why are you following them?
Josh, you was right too, though. You was right too. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't see nothing wrong with bigging up people doing something, you know, making that popular. If you're gonna have, you know, something's gonna be popular whether we like it or not, and if we can control what's popular and is giving back, I don't see that as you know, if you're gonna have a show off contest, you know, show off what school you built, or, you know, show off what you know, what neighborhood you had redone. I want to see that shit.
No, in that instance, I can agree. But my thing is that we as a people are so engulfed in what other people are doing, we lose sight of what we should be doing regardless. If T.I. didn't build anything, you still need a place to stay. You know, some people will stand online for 2 hours for Jordan, but don't even have their Social Security card or their birth certificate, and then go down to the Social Security office and say, the line was too long, so I left.
That's a fact.
I'll do it another day.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? It's about prioritizing what we need to do and stop basing what we need to do on what everybody else is doing. I don't care how many schools T.I. built. It doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, I still need to do what I have to do. It's like this. It's like somebody saying, I gave $200,000 to AIDS research or to AIDS Foundation. That money don't go to the people. The people do not get that money.
No.
But it looks good. It looks good for tax purposes. Right. It looks good
for, you can hang on your shoulder.
You know. Yeah, exactly. But my thing is, I want people to show within actions and put their money. You know, lose some of them endorsements, or make some of them people who you make some of them people that you getting money with. No, that you're getting money with. Make them listen. T.I. Listen, T.I. is doing a PR. I believe it's PR because he's always going to be called. He did a Tips commercial. He did a lot of things that's questionable to black people.
True.
And a lot of times, one thing black people always want is to win black people over. And when you have somebody that's a rapper who's supposed to be a street rapper, he won a street cred. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to fully say what he's doing is disingenuous. I'm just not quick to jump on people bandwagons that, you know, time tell everything.
Fact.
Time tell everything. Yeah, and we don't give people enough time. We judge them so fast, good or bad. We judge them so fast, and we don't know what the long haul is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I said in my thing, Jeezy told our children to trap or die, but he sent his son to college. You understand what I'm saying?
But hold on, but let me say this though. Guess who was the biggest people that was arguing with you down about what you just said, which made total sense? Other black people, it's just music, it's just entertainment. No, he didn't give a fuck about your children. He was saying that he bought 4 keys and you can buy 4 keys, and I'm riding in the car right now with no license or nothing in the gun, and they just
you know what, like, what I did personally, and this is something that I had to personally do. I gave up arguing with black people because I never did anything to hurt black people. I never gave black people the wrong message. I never gave black people anything that was going to be destructive to their health, their well-being, their mind, or them physically. I never told them to go outside and shoot nobody and kill Whitey and all that shit. I seen people like Seti do that shit, and they still follow Seti. I seen him, but how many white people has he killed? How many white people did he go out there and fight? I seen some of them dudes say the dumbest shit, and people follow them, and they got the biggest following. I never did that. So it's all, listen, I can't knock somebody for being a better shepherd than me. People are
facts.
You know, so if he's a better shepherd, cool. But where is he steering you to? Like I say to people, what are you following? You're following, everything is about a following. You're following people on Twitter. You're following people on Instagram. You're following them on Facebook. What are you following? Where are they leading you to? Are you there to look at their new car so you could be angry? Or are you there to look at their new car so you could be inspired to do what you have to do? No, you're there to hate. People come, listen, people come on the comments of my shit every day to tell me how I suck and why I should quit at what I'm doing. And I'm like,
that's a fact. I watch some of your live broadcasts.
Why would I go?
I don't get that.
Yeah, why would I go in McDonald's every day and yell and say, I hate this fucking food, I'm not eating it? Just don't go in McDonald's. But this is what I'm saying. This is our people. So I've given up on trying to please our people, or because, like Tupac said, they're going to hate you for whatever you do. No matter what you do, you're going to get hate. So as long as that I'm doing
whatever you do.
This is what I'm saying. No matter what I'm doing, if I know what I'm doing is from the heart and it means something to me, I don't give a fuck about how nobody else feels. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not here telling you to do nothing stupid. I'm not here giving you some bullshit rehash information about our history or nothing like that. I'm not here standing in front of platforms debating on whether the damn Metal could be deciphered or not. Because what the fuck does that have to do with fucking our people getting killed on a day-to-day basis?
I see where you're going with this.
You understand what I'm saying? But these people have a following. These people have people who are coming to hear nothing. You are coming to hear nothing. Nobody has still come up with a fucking contingency plan to how to economically empower us, how to physically empower us, how to mentally empower us. It's just giving you all the shit that you think you need. But the one thing that you can always sell black people is hope. You can always, shit is always for sale.
That's a fact. Always.
So that's why a lot of these so-called conscious dudes and dudes that be building, what the fuck are they talking about? What are you talking about? I don't give a fuck what you call yourself. You could be a Moor, you could be a Hebrew Israelite, you could be a Muslim, you could be Nation of Islam. None of that shit don't matter when you staring down the barrel of the gun of your fucking oppressor. Because none of those things you are is going to get you out of the situation. How do we get the fuck out of the situation? Until somebody come up with a plan to how to get us out of the situation, I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
Yo,
and
dog,
that's
I got
the problem.
I got a question for you, dog. Yo, we're gonna do a solution show. Would you like to take part in that?
Oh, definitely.
Facts.
Definitely, because the issue is, I used to always say, now what? You know, everybody, because of YouTube, let me tell you something, and it's the realest shit. Anytime you want to be a part of anything, you need an OG or you need somebody to put you on. If you wanted to be God Body back in the days, you had to have something called an enlightenment. He had to give you lessons for you to memorize, and it wasn't even the whole 1 to 20. It was just a few lessons, and you had to know those lessons before you started moving on in your lessons. That's called your enlightenment. If you want to join the gang, you had to have an OG that put you on in the gang, jumped you in, or whatever initiation process you had to go through to be a part of the gang. Nowadays, people are automatically something without anybody putting them on. So a dude watch a few lectures or read like 2 books, and now he's a fucking a scholar and a teacher. The fuck, who's your OG? I don't have no OG. How you don't have no? We all have an OG. We all have somebody who put us on and inspired us. And that's what's going on today. Everybody know all the problems. We all reading from the same books. We're all watching the same 2 YouTube videos. It's just some of us interpret things a little faster, a little slower, or a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right. But we're all getting the same information. But, okay, we all can universally agree that who and what our problem is. And then you'll have some people who say, white people's not the problem, we're the problem. You know, but these are the people who get in the platform to talk this dumb shit. You understand what I'm saying? So one thing that we need to do is to start shutting motherfuckers down. When they start saying shit that's stupid, like I said about the rappers earlier, when they say something that's stupid and you realize they're just doing this shit to line their pockets and try to sell false hope and false promises, shut them out. Just like the preachers. Nobody listens to the preachers anymore. Nobody listens to that shit anymore because we realize that is bullshit. So now you got dudes who's doing that shit with an unk on their neck now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's just it's no difference. Because this is what I'm saying. What solution are you giving the people? You're giving people information that we all know already. Okay, now that we know this information, we all know the problem, but to every problem, there's a solution. What is the fucking solution? Never listen to a man who don't even have an organization. Never listen to a man who doesn't have an organization. You know why? Because if you don't have an organization, whose life have you saved?
Wow.
Who believes in you? You don't even have no fucking followers.
RBG was saying.
You don't even have no followers. You understand what I'm saying? And this is what's happening to us. You have people who's able to go on these platforms and talk this big, bad shit. You know what I'm saying? And it sounds good, and we love to see how people talk with fire and passion and, you know, conviction and vulgarity and cursing. We love that. Motherfucker leading you right to the slaughter. And he ain't gonna be there. And he ain't gonna be there. That's what I'm saying. All these dudes, I heard people say, you know, I'm the cracker slapper and I get at these devils. And how many of them you did that shit to? And you trying to fire people up to do some shit that you ain't even do. You a sucker.
I see where you
a sucker. Because real gangsters, listen, real G's and real gangsters move in silence. I'll never tell you nothing that I'll do or did. Never. And I would never tell you to do anything that's going to jeopardize your life or your fucking safety. I wouldn't give a fuck. I wouldn't tell you on a YouTube video. I wouldn't tell you on the phone. You know what I'm saying? So you got these dudes out here that's inciting people to do shit that they don't do. And I just think that shit is cowardice. And that's the problem with our people now. We keep looking for leaders, and you got these suckers out there that's playing the role of leaders and generals and all that shit. How you gonna be a fucking general and you ain't got no army?
They know that black people. They know that black people currently are very vulnerable right now, and we're looking for somebody to
black people hope. You can sell black people hope, and then when they start running with these little narratives to try to play to the mind of women and different shit. I know all this sucker shit. I be seeing all this sucker shit. I be like, man, look at these motherfuckers. But like I said, I can't get mad because somebody else is a better shepherd. I just know for me personally, I'm not fucking with it. Because I've seen some of these dudes that be playing tough on these YouTube videos in person, and they pussy. And they pussy. They pussy.
You know he talking some real shit right now.
They pussy. They talk all this tough shit on YouTube, and they gonna do this and they do that. First of all, any man who has a disagreement with somebody and gets emotional and talk about how they want to fight off a disagreement, bitch made, because not everybody's gonna agree with you.
That's fine.
Right.
So why you want to fight? But where is the fight for the so-called bees? How many motherfucking so-called crackers, the beasts, the devils, how many of them did you fight today? But you want to fight me because I don't agree with you?
Yeah, this is crazy.
For your concepts and your narrative, this is what I'm saying. So black people, we have to stop letting motherfuckers piss on our head and telling us it's rain.
It is raining.
That's a fact.
That's the fucking problem. That's why Doggy Diamond don't listen to nobody. I listen to everybody and listen to nobody at the same time. I'm not following anybody because, first of all, when you follow a man with all his imperfections as a man, you already in trouble. And it's like a rapper. The rapper talk all this shit. Nothing's ever gonna happen to him, but one of his friends and his entourage is gonna get killed. So one of his friends and his entourage is gonna get killed, or one of the people in his entourage is gonna go to jail, or somebody in his entourage is gonna get caught slipping. It's never gonna be him. You know why? Because he go home to a gated community.
Exactly.
I've never told my
children is so dope.
Hey fam,
so dope.
Yeah,
fam. I hate to break it up, man, but I am dying in here. I have got to wrap it up.
Okay, no, it's cool. It's cool. But you know what? I got to take, certain platforms to say certain things because I know it's going to reach certain people. You know what I'm saying? And I
we
just
respect that, man.
And I just do want to say in closing to our people, please stop being so gullible because everybody that stands before you that say they stand for the side of Black Power, they just saying that shit. What did they do? And coming before you and teaching you shit that Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark, the great esteemed elders, already taught us, is not teaching you.
Wow.
All they're doing is rehashing shit. And then now they're changing. Look, and now they're changing the narrative and saying Dr. Ben was wrong.
Wow.
And you're supposed to be Dr. Ben's student. Said he. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is fucking cowards, man. Now you're going to say your teacher was wrong. So who the fuck did you learn from?
And who did you say, though? I didn't catch the name.
I said Said.
Look at you.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure. I
you
thought
know
I
what I'm
heard
saying?
that, but I just wanted to make sure.
Petty man.
This is why this man.
This is the thing. This is people that we love and we listen to and we looked up to, and look how they starting to try to change the narrative to fit their shit. What are you teaching people? What are you really teaching people? All I see is a bunch of huffing and puffing and yelling, and I'm gonna do this and do that. And I see niggas in person, they was pussy, straight up and down, pussy. They ain't even look nobody in the eye. You're a coward.
Wow.
You a coward, and this is me talking, and I don't, I don't got no beef or no problem, especially with my people. But I'm tired of seeing my people being led by people who do not have their best interests at heart. Never listen to somebody that's going to incite you to do some shit that they will not do themselves. The general of any army was on the battlefield too, fighting. All these fucking marches, whether it was Tulsa, whether it was anything, where the fuck was any of these dudes at? Where were they at? They wasn't on the front line of nothing.
MIA.
So on that note,
that's one thing. That's one thing I can't say for. I never understood how niggas be like, yo, I mean, y'all supposed to be this and that. Why don't you go down there and kill this person?
AJ, I'm gonna mute you in a second, bro. Man, y'all don't understand, man. I got snot everywhere, bro. Like my whole head is congested.
It's cool. It's cool, but I'm just I'm just saying that, my issue and problem is because like I said, I love a lot of the brothers in the Black community. That's it. Yo, y'all still there?
No doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. I love a lot of.
We still here.
Yeah, I love a lot of brothers in the Black community, but I'm starting to get tired of a lot of shit that I'm seeing via these debates and all this shit. It's not helping our people. It's really not. All it's doing is causing more division because everybody feeling like they gotta join some type of conscious gang.
Right. Like
if everybody going unite.
If it was just a debate and it stayed right there, and you big up the winner, you big up the loser, and y'all still left out and build together, I'm all for it. But if they are gonna take that out the venue and actively go at each other after the debate, I don't really see how that.
But see, this is the thing. Once you win a debate, you get a consolation prize by getting more fans, and that could possibly bring up more money that you could possibly make. So you're going to keep the narrative going. That's why we're still having the same debates that we had 3 years ago. These people versus these people. Nigga, we're all black. We're all fucking black. I don't give a fuck.
What did Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark do? They debated this fucking cracker scholars.
Dr. Francis destroyed them for real, right in their face, calmly. I'm tired of. No, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. It's like right now because I be watching all this shit. And I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking cooning too on a different level, on a so-called higher level. Because now you got people who feel like they gotta fucking pick a side on some conscious shit, and it's stupid. I love the Moors, I love the Hebrew Israelites, I love the Nation of Islam. I fuck with everybody.
Facts.
I fuck with the brothers. I fuck with everybody. I don't cause division. But when I start seeing dudes talking like street shit, how you conscious and talking street shit against your brothers? I don't get that.
I mean, and this is no disrespect to some of the conscious brothers, but some of them will start to look like rappers for real.
But this is what the game, look, but that's what it all, listen, it's all for pussy and money.
Right.
It's all for pussy and, I'm telling you.
Some of these niggas is agents, man.
They've been killing us for decades.
Yeah, some of these niggas is agents, man, just flat out. Rappers, I mean, some of the figures in the conscious community, everybody's got an agenda. You know what I mean?
And quick to call somebody else an agent with no fucking proof.
No proof.
But you're the one.
Disagree with me, so he's an agent.
Yeah, listen.
And people will run with that shit too.
Well, because it's all about popularity.
Yep.
You understand?
You want to ride the wave.
Like I said, I done been in a lot of these dudes' presence. I went out there and stood up for fucking child molestation and spoke out against it. A lot of dudes ain't even come, but they ain't give a fuck. There wasn't no money in that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember you was talking about that too. I watch a lot of your videos. I ain't gonna lie, I do. I remember you was talking about that.
So don't look at who was there. Look who wasn't there. And what's the biggest problem in our community?
Predominant names?
Bars.
Predominant names wasn't there. You feel what I'm saying? The heavy hitters that could have brought more people there. You feel that claim that they. You get what I'm saying? You feel what I'm saying?
Listen. What's worse in the black community than fucking child abuse? We're all abused children. We're all abused children. Talking about that gives people the courage to come out of their trauma and to face their problems and to get out of that. Some people are still traumatized today at 50 years old for some shit that happened to them 45 years ago.
Very true.
But we need to know whether the fucking glyphs could be read on the wall. That's what we need to know, though. That's what's going to help our people.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck out of here.
Oh, goodness, man.
He's spitting facts right now, yo. He's spitting facts.
Hey, man, and if you need anything from us, bro, don't hesitate to let us know, man. And that's keeping.
No, it's not an issue. I just want to say, my podcast is Doggy Diamonds No Filter. It's on SoundCloud, SoundCloud.com/Doggy Diamonds No Filter. It's also on iTunes. Salute to everybody who's been listening. The response is very, very overwhelming. I'm just here to work for our people. Like I said, I don't have no beef or no issue with nobody, but some dudes need to get checked because I see a lot of fuck shit going on, and it's going to do more harm than it's going to do help in the long run. And, a lot of shit is going to get revealed soon. You know what I'm saying? So I'm speaking from a place where just be careful who you make your alliances with. You know what I'm saying? Because some people do not have your interests at heart. And fuck what somebody say. Just look at their actions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look at their actions. When you start seeing a dude go on that camera and sound like he about to spit bars, but he's trying to be conscious and he can't even hold, he can't even speak a whole sentence without calling you a nigga 20 times and calling you a motherfucker. Like, how do you uplift people by degrading them? I'm confused. I'm confused.
That is
very
true.
Next thing you know, dude's gonna start calling the women bitches and hoes.
Bitches. Mm-hmm.
Man, I've been saying
and
that for the longest.
Try to explain to you why it's okay.
As long as you got a follower for real, that shit gonna fly depending on who we talking to, man. I see it now, bro.
As long as it's popping on Twitter or on the gram, man, you know what I mean? That's like I said, everybody's got an agenda, man. That's what matters. People looking for views and numbers and likes, man. Yeah.
No, bro, you're absolutely right. And that's all that matters to people. It's not about the liberation and salvation about black people. It's about lining their fucking pockets and rehashing information, and then now starting to change the whole information to fit what works for them.
Their narrative.
So like I say, man, just salute to all of y'all. Stay safe out there. I'm a little fired up right now. I think I'm about to go exercise or some shit like that. I'm about to do something with myself.
Man,
Nah,
this,
you know why? I love fighting. I love fighting for my people, and I don't make no money doing what I'm saying and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make any money. Like, people don't understand. I don't take money from people. I ask for donations. You know, I might get fucking $2 or something like that, and I'm grateful and thankful. You know what I'm saying? I got to get my money other ways. That's why I asked Dr. Boyce Watkins that key question. When you speak up against the system of white supremacy and you speak it for black people, white people ain't going to give you the money. Going to give you no money because they think you're fucking stupid. And black people got the nerve to even call you racist.
Oh my God.
You understand what I'm saying? Not all white people are bad or you bugging. You know, all types of shit that you always get.
They ready to pay for a white person.
What about black on black crime?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it, man.
Come on, man. Look, and I murdered that topic. Look, I murdered that topic a long time ago. Black on black crime. There's no such thing as black on black crime. It's just called crime.
Right.
You know, and then if you do want to fuck with that, listen. When Ray killed Bobby, Ray gets 89 years in jail. But when a white person killed Bobby, he goes scot-free. So that's the difference.
Right.
One person is going to get caught for doing it, and the other person is going to get acquitted. So that's the difference. And stop saying unarmed men, because unarmed doesn't mean that he was innocent. Start saying they killed the innocent man. Stop saying unarmed. We got to change them words. Unarmed does not mean innocent. Because you could be unarmed and still committed a crime. Let's say he got shot and killed and he didn't do shit. Fuck with the fact that he was unarmed. He wasn't even guilty of anything.
Waiting on his kids. Waiting on his kids to home from school.
I mean, pick one out of the hat. What is it this week? You know what I'm saying? What is this week? When somebody like Dylan Roof could go into church and kill people praying, what God is going to allow his people to get murdered while they praying to him?
Facts. White man. Apparently, white man God. Apparently.
All right, fam. I gotta go now, man. I hate to break it up.
He about to die and shit like that, you know.
Right.
Get him about to clean that.
I'm miserable.
So
you
held on, man. You held on like a soldier, though, man.
Man,
you got to sacrifice your life.
Truly appreciate you coming on with this,
man.
Yeah, and I don't know who I have to get to. I got a P.O. box that I could give somebody for my hoodie and all that, and I'll wear it actually in my podcast and big it up on camera and all that.
Oh, that's
dope. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been doing. I've been looking for.
Inbox me.
A lot of black clothing lines, a lot of black entrepreneurs to wear their merchandise and on my platforms and stuff like that. So I'll inbox you within the next 10 minutes.
All right, bet. And because I was just going to inbox you just so you remember. But that's dope. Yeah, all right, I definitely would get that out.
Yeah, y'all have a good night. Stay safe out there, and we'll reconvene this conversation at another time. Peace.
No doubt, man. Peace out to you, fam. Peace. And have a good one, bro. And I just want to say, man, thanks for everybody that tuned in, and thanks for definitely thanks to Dr. Boyce and Doggie Diamonds, man, for honoring us with your presence and the gems and the wisdom. Definitely appreciate that, man. It was definitely a great show. Don't forget to check out the groups, Black Everything and My Skin Is My Sin. And don't forget to check out the website, myskinismysin.com. Anything else y'all got to say, fellas, before we wrap it up?
I just keep it short and quick, man. I'm just glad that both of those very highly intelligent, respected brothers just came and shared the podcast with us, shared their knowledge and be one, Black first. And I'm done.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Dr. Watkins and Doggie Diamonds for being men of their words and just coming to drop jewels with the family. Outside of that, man, that nigga stop cooning, man. It's bad for your health, man. Black first, man. And I'll add us next week.
Endings are starting to be classic, yo. You thought they had some classic endings. I gotta set my ending game up.
Oh man, mine is just trash, bro. But I gotta do what I gotta do, man. Somebody gotta keep focused here.
Turn on the AC for real when you hang up the phone, my guy.
Right, man. I'll holler at y'all, man. Y'all have a good one.
Peace, man.
Peace.
Burger King presents Breakfast Stories. Today's story, Bob and the 2 for $4 croissant sandwich.
So, here's a doozy. I'm eating my 2 croissants